Becoming despondent and bitter. We need a spark to start a fire. Start a
Yo. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? How's everything? We're back. Our 7-day Facebook ban is over. That's why we didn't do this Tuesday. Would have done this Tuesday. But because you joke around with a friend of yours on Facebook, you get banned for 7 days. It is what it is. Hey, Ron. What's up, Piggy? Hey, Ben, dude. So today we're going to talk about, we're going to do an Amps and Attitudes live. We're going to start doing the Amps and Attitudes series live. It's just, it makes it better. You guys can ask questions while we work on the rig and figure out what's going on and do that whole deal. So, hold on. I think I got to turn my mic up a little. Check, 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 check. That's probably, is that better? I don't know. I can't tell. Hold on. Turn up the microphone input, maybe. Try that. I didn't do nothing either. All right. It is what it is. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. It's a pain in the ass. You know how this stuff is. It's a pain in the ass. Anyway. It is what it is. Nice. Very nice. Facebook users. I can't see who you guys are unless you use this link in order to... Hold on. On the live stream here, I posted a link. So if you connect your Facebook at that link, then I'll be able to see your name in chat. You just come up as Facebook user, otherwise, and I don't know who you are. It's the way it works. Don't ask me. I didn't design it. But anyway, we're going to rock an Amps and Attitudes today. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Amps and Attitudes series, what we do is we pick an amp on the Pod Go, and we dial up a tone using that amp. We go through its possibilities, things it can do, things it can't do, what it's supposed to sound like, what it should sound like, all that good stuff. Today, we're working with the solo lead and the solo crunch. Technically the same amp, but two different amps within the Pod Go, but it's okay. We're going to dial up a cool rhythm tone that's reminiscent of all the classic SLO stuff, the cool George Lynch stuff from the mid-'80s, maybe some Gary Moore-ish kind of tones. Something special today that we're using. My new humbucker-equipped Strat, the Fender Lendl, with the new Jalen Guitar JD Star humbucker pickup, which is the Jeff Duncan signature pickup. This thing is awesome. It's killer sounding pickup. Oh my God, it sounds so good. The harmonics just rip out of it. It's really great. You can pick it up from Jalen Guitar. It's called the JD Star, the Jeff Duncan signature pickup. Pretty impressive. I'm a JB guy usually, but this thing's just got, take a JB and give it some more clarity, more harmonics, and you got this thing. It's pretty awesome. Sounds great. So let's get into taking a look at my setup's a little bit different today than it normally is. So what I've done is I've moved the pod to my desk so you can actually see it, which is cool. So let's check our volume. Helps if you plug the guitar in. I kind of missed that part. Give you guys some volume. That's really loud, I think. Turn that down a bit. You guys should be able to hear that pretty good, right? as you can see, we have a new preset that I called up over here. It is just the solo lead crunch amp. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to rearrange some stuff the way I like my presets to be set up. It's just something I feel makes it easier to use, and it winds up working out better for everybody. So I'm going to take the volume pedal and I'm going to move it past the amp. Hold on. I want to have two pedals before the amp. I want the volume control after the amp and after the effects loop. As usual, going to move it to the end. EQ will probably use as a little volume boost. Maybe we'll need it in this preset, who knows? And that should do it. Let's see, we got the Fazzle wah, if we want to use a wah. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take and we're going to load up a better cabinet. I'm actually going to use an impulse response. You guys will know these impulse responses because we give them away free in the group. You can find them in the announcement section. It's the Jason Constantine IR pack. I am personally here going to go with something V30 related. So I'm probably going to pull up my Randy. Try the Randy 57. Now, do I want the Randy? Or do I want to go with... Yeah, I want to go Randy. Randy's a little tighter. Or maybe my cab. Hold on, let's see. We'll do my cab. We'll do the Constantine cab. We'll do the combination. So this is a combination IR that I created that has a 57 on an SM57 on a vintage 30 and an SM57 on a 25 watt greenback. So it's a combination of both. Okay. So I always tend to try and pick cabs first depending on the amp I'm working with. It's one of the things I highly encourage people to do. Pick the amp you want to use, and then once you pick the amp, go in and find the right cabinet that fits with the amp you want to be using. Another thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you're using the right amp for the sound that you want. Don't try to make a Recto sound like a Marshall. Don't try to make a Recto sound like a Fender. Don't try to make a Marshall sound like a Fender, you know. Try to get the idea of the type of amp you want to use and what you're going to do before you go in and do all of that. It's very important that you do it that way. It's really important. So as you can see, we got the amp, the drive on the amp. Where is that? Is that 5.5 or 6.5? I'm old and blind, so bear with me. It's 5.5. So we're going to give that a hair more gain. I'm going to go 6.5. No, I'm going to go more. There we go. Now harmonics is starting to come out. So that's getting a little loud, so we're going to back that off. I'm kind of going for that lynchy 80s Dockenish kind of lead sound thing. So another thing I'm going to do is, now that I got that kind of dialed the way I like it, I'm going to go and I'm going to add a boost to it. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to use... I think I'm going to go in and use the Scream 808 because Lynch is kind of known for that. And we're going to do the typical trick with this. We're going to turn the gain all the way down, and we're going to crank the level. So what we're doing is we're boosting the front end of the amp, tightening the low end, and giving the amp a little bit more gain. You could probably bring that up a hair. So you hear how we have all that sustain and gain now? Compared to what we did have with this bypassed. Back on. So if we did it differently, I'll show you the difference. So if we went halfway with the level, and then we cranked up the gain, you're going to see it gets a little more fuzzy, a little more hairy. See, there's more like a fuzz kind of thing. Especially if you roll back the tone. So I tend to gain down and level up, and what that does is that cleans up all the low end mud. And it gives you a nice chunk of the line too. And I would even go back to the amp real quick, and I'm going to go a little more on the drive. 687. I'm actually going to go back to the screamer also, and I am going to give it a little bit of gain, maybe 2 or 3. Let's try it at 3. See if that's too much. Remember, we're trying to dial up a lead sound here, so we want that nice, thick sustain. That's nice. I like the amount of gain we're getting. I think it could use a little bit more presence. Presence gives it like a HD kind of quality. So here it is with the presence set back to normal. Nice, but it's a little dull. So we just boost that a little bit. We'll go like 7. See, it gives the gain a little bit of hair on top. And you get a little bit of clarity out of it. I'm actually going to go a little bit more. I'm going to go 7.5. Like that. I'm going to turn this up a little on my end. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop those mids out a little bit. Not too much. Probably down to like 4. So we're getting a little bit of crunch on that because we got a little bit too much low end. So what I'm going to do is instead of turning the bass down on the amp, I'm going to go over to the cabinet model and I'm going to put some low cut on that. We'll see if like 90 hertz gets rid of that. Nope. Nope, still not. So that's not going to work for us this time. So I'm going to low cut it at 80. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to high cut us at about 10. And all that nasty noise we're getting with the volume open, we're going to come over here to the input block. I'm going to turn on the input gate. I'm going to set this for 10 milliseconds. And that will take care of all that noise. All right, so we're going to go back into the amp. I'm going to turn down some of the bass. Try it about 4, see how that works. Still a little hot. I'm going to pull that back a little. Still a tad hot. Now we're going to bring up the treble a bit. I'm still not feeling that. I really have a feeling it's the cabinet at this point. So we're going to go in and we're going to change the cab up. I'm going to go back to that Randall that I was talking about earlier. Oh, so much better. All right. Way less fuzzy. So let's go in and let's bring that bass back up to normal levels. Probably put a bunch of those mids back in too. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the chat real quick. See what we got in the house. We got France in the house, Colombia, Mexico. Hell yes. We've gone international, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out today. It's awesome. Great to see you guys. If you guys got questions about the Podgo, feel free to ask any questions you have. I'll do my best to answer them as best I can. And we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm liking this a lot better with the vintage 30 cab. And just for giggles, I'm going to go in and I'm going to try the default cab again, one of the default cabs. I'm going to try the 412 greenback that's in here. Nope. What about the 25? No. Nope. Nope. Definitely not. Definitely not. All right. So we're going back to my IR. We're going to go back to the Randy 30. Again, these IRs are available in the Pod Go group on Facebook. What's up, Steven? Hello from Ohio. Hello from Las Vegas. How are you? If you go to the Pod Go group on Facebook, it's facebook.com/groups/PodGo users. We give these IRs away for free. You can go into the announcement section and you can go find, you can go find where you can download those IRs for free. It's my custom IR set. I have tons of them that I give away for free. So feel free to go over to the PodGo group and grab those. Come hang out with us. You know, we're there every day talking about stuff related to the PodGo. We help each other out, ask each other questions, do all that cool fun stuff. So far, that's a pretty solid tone. So I'm just going to go in and save that real quick. And I think there's enough sustain and drive on it to really make it sing. So one of the other the other thing I'm going to do in this is I'm going to go in and I'm going to pop on some delay. Let's see. I always like setting this to quarter notes. So, as some of you may not know, you can change the way the delay works. So you can set it in milliseconds, or you can set it in like quarter or eighth notes, quarter note, eighth note dotted. And you can change that by pressing in that first button, and it'll allow you to set it. So with quarter notes, when you tap tempo, so now the delay will meet that tempo exactly the way I want it. Also, if you're getting that double repeat like I'm getting right now, if you go in and you set the scale to either 100% or 0, you'll just get the single delay. Or you go the other way. If you like that kind of dotted delay, you can add a little. See? I tend to set the scale to 0. And then the other thing I'll usually do is I like to get like 4 repeats out of it, so I turn the feedback down till I get 4 repeats. A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. So that's kind of cool. I still think it's a little too hot in the mix. I'm gonna bring the mix down probably about that much. I like when delays to be there when when I'm done playing. Because if the delays are up too high and you start playing fast, they kind of get in the way of the things that you're playing. It makes it difficult to hear. So if you're in like a kind of lick, if your delay is up too loud, it's just gonna get smeary. So like this. So you kind of start to lose the definition. Now, if you do it in time, you get that cool harmony thing going on. Like. So I tend to like it so it doesn't get so much in the way. So like 30, 32%. So it's still you get those cool repeats at the end. And actually, because it's a little lower, we're going to turn that feedback up a little bit. So we get those 4 repeats. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. Back to the amp real quick, and I'm going to try and tweak the tone just a tad bit more. Add a little more high end to it. Add a little more mids. Pull a little low end. And crazily enough, I still think they could use a touch more gain. I'm just going to max it out, see what happens. It's kind of cool. Tubby for me, so I think what I'm going to do is instead of turning the gain up on the tube screamer like I did, I think we're going to bring the tone up on it a little. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stack overdrives. So I'm actually going to take this drive, move it over a slot, and I'm going to load another drive in front of it. And I think I'm going to go with a clon. It's because I want some of that character that the clon gives. Some nice sustain. Maybe we're going to go a little more gain on that and a little less level. A little brighter on the tone as well. Yeah, because we want a little more harmonic content out of it. Yeah, that gives it a little more sustained, makes it a little easier to play. There's one more thing I'm also going to do. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add a compressor. I'm probably going to go red squeeze and I'm going to move it all the way out here. Just want to get a little compression on that. So now you got a couple different gain levels you can go with. So this is just the compressor with the amp. You add the clon to that, which cleans it up a little, pushes it over. Or no clon, no compressor, just tube screamer. Or clon in, tube screamer, no compressor. And you got all three. Yeah, that tube screamer is definitely that Lynch like tooth and nail kind of. Definitely totally got that vibe going on right there, without a doubt. Don't want to do too much of that. I don't want to get demonetized. And then with the comp on it, it just kind of gives it a little bit more sustain. And then with all three, it's just that ripping lead. So that's that. Says that Jalen JD Star pickup in the bridge. Here it is with some singles on the neck. High Gain Malmsteen. And it still cleans up. Gain this down. So what we're doing, go and kill this compressor. Neck pickup. bridge pickup. Then you can gain it up a little with the compressor. Roll off the tone. Get that real woman tone. Gain it up a little more. And then everything on, tear it all up. Without the delay, you even got a cool ass rhythm sound. Pretty cool too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so we got about 10 minutes left. Did anybody have any questions about the Podgo or the preset? I need a cool name for it. What should we call this? Definitely needs a ripping name. And I'm not calling it the Ripper. That's cheesy. Yeah, that's a pretty cool tone. I dig it. So, go in here. We're going to hit save. We'll go in and we'll call her. We're going to be cool about it, though. Let her rip. My ears are burning. Just for giggles, hold on. Some neck humbucker and some Flint Rose. Nothing like an attitude guitar. So there you guys go. Dialing up some SLO. So did anybody have any questions before we cut out today? Any questions about the Pod Go? No problem, Jeff. Hey, Gabor, what kind of questions did you have? See what I can do about answering them for you, helping you guys out. Later, MK. Thanks for hanging. I don't have anything set up that I could show for cable method, but I do have a video on it. Hold on. I have 2 videos on it, actually. I have a live stream that I did. Let me find the video on my page. Just give me a minute. Okay, so there's this video. This is a long one. It's a long stream where we talk about a couple things. Your PV6505 sounds way more quiet if you set up for cable method. My method, that's the only way to set up for cable method. There is no other way to do it. And there's this one. Now you're saying though your volume on the amp sounds way lower? It's probably because you don't have your settings set in global settings properly. You should make sure all your outputs on the Pod Go are set to line out. So you would go into global settings. Hold on, let me show you real quick. If you go into global settings on the Pod Go, so on this one, I have the input gate set to -48 and then 10 milliseconds. So as far as for cable method, both page buttons go into your global settings. And then your main out level here should be set to line, and your effects loop level should also be set to line. If you have them set to instrument, they're going to be way too low. You have to have them set to line level. The 6505 wants to see a line level signal. If you want to screenshot that, or just remember that those are the way you should have it set up. And I always keep the guitar pad off because I use passives, not actives. Cool. Any other questions before I get the hell out of here and go see if my delivery got here so I can do my other live stream today. I'm doing a pedal board build today as well at some point in time. No problem, dude. That's why I'm here. Still on the truck. Alrighty, guys. If that does it, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I will hopefully see you guys. Next live stream is most likely going to be Tuesday. We're going to get into another amp. I will put a poll up in the Podgo group on Facebook so you guys can vote on what amp you want to do next. And then go in, vote. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, go to facebook.com/groups/Podgo users. Join up. Come hang out with the rest of the family. And I will see you guys all next week.